ladies and gentlemen, today William Ruto is in his 4th day in the Nyanza region. He has been to places like Kisumu and Homa Bay specifically. The other day was in Migori, so he did not go to other places except those two. Now, all through, he was accompanied by Raila Odinga, right in Kisumu, also in Homa Bay. Raila Odinga was by his side. They were seen there cooking fish and having very nice moments within the lake region. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today William Ruto presided over the Madaraka Day ceremonies at Raila Odinga Stadium, and tomorrow is expected, of course, to watch the match between Gor Mahia and, of course, AFC Leopards. Now, in his entire 4-day trip in Homa Bay and Kisumu, I was able to observe so many things that happened there. But one thing that I was able to conclude is that William Ruto is in fear and in doubt about the Nyanza region. On this particular video here, I want to take you through on why William Ruto is in fear. But before I do so, if this is the first time you're watching my videos at Mokwa Times, thank you so much for watching and thank you so much for being here for the first time. Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, my number is always here. You can support the channel or even engage me in any capacity. You can share with me on various political topics that can better my knowledge on that. Let me give you 2 minutes, 2 seconds to subscribe before I proceed. Thank you so much for subscribing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have to be here and I have to be honest and say that Nyanza region has not been having a good history as far as voting is concerned. All the way from 2013, when Raila Odinga, of course, went for the president, leave alone 1992, but 2013, all the way until 2022, the history has not been good. The trend has not been okay. Now, and those are the things that are giving William Ruto a lot of fear as far as Raila Odinga's support in 2027 is concerned. Now, as we speak today, Raila Odinga is expected to give William Ruto full support, as William Ruto is reciprocating right now by giving him development projects and, of course, taking some alleged experts into his government. So the fact remains that the two brothers now are working closely for 2027. Now, what is happening at Nyanza? In Nyanza, there are a few things that have been happening in the past elections that make William Ruto develop some fear as far as Raila Odinga's significance in his team is concerned. What is this? First of all, apart from Nyanza, we know that Raila Odinga, of course, is expected to deliver votes from the Coast region and the Luya region, at least to enable William Ruto to be able to replace the votes that he lost from the Mount Kenya region, of which I know he might not be able to achieve because of a lot of rebellion that has come out, more especially from the Western Kenya region. But I believe, of course, Raila Odinga is going to deliver a number of votes to William Ruto. Now, if I check here keenly, one of the things that is giving William Ruto sleepless nights is the fact that there's always a low turnout. Now, to just give the most recent example, when Raila Odinga was supported by Uhuru Kenyatta, having the deep state by his side, and actually now Raila Odinga was expected to win the presidency because his brother once said that they have been winning the elections, but they have not been declared winners simply because they did not have the deep state, and now they had it at that time. So the fact is they were supposed to win. But still, something happened that touched everyone. The turnout in Nyanza was quite low, which means the percentage of the voters who came out of the registered voters was very low. And out of those who that voted actually on that particular day, it's not 100% that Raila Odinga received support. Still, there are a few people who felt like, no, it's not Raila Odinga who's supposed to lead the country at this stage. At this stage, sorry. So the fact remains that that low turnout that has been occurring in 2013, 2017, 2022 now, it is discouraged William Ruto in that he knows, despite that the laws appears to be many, still he might not get enough votes from that place. The fact is that they are forming roughly about 1.5 million votes, and William Ruto, if he's not careful, might not even hit 1 million. Why? Raila Odinga might not vie, and the turnout still might be very low because he will not be at the ballot. Because you ask yourself, as a normal human being, if Raila Odinga, when he was at the ballot, the turnout was not so huge, even registration was very low, how is it that it's going to be very high when Raila Odinga is not on the ballot? A question that William Ruto can be able to answer himself. Secondly, William Ruto is in fear because of the opposition that is getting from the Nyanza region. William Ruto, of course, moved around as a member of MPs across the Nyanza region, but people like Babu Wino were not there. I did not see Edwin Sifuna there, meaning that there is a problem within the ODM party and especially in Nyanza as well. Why? Despite William Ruto declaring and Raila Odinga declaring that they are having a broad-based government, still they are getting opposition from within. That makes it difficult for William Ruto to be sure that he's going to get 100% support. So if you don't see Edwin Sifuna there, you do not see big leaders like Babu Wino from that region, how do you even sit down? How do you even sit down and start crafting your plan depending on Raila Amolo Odinga and his Luo Nyanza votes? It's very, very difficult. So William Ruto is in fear because of that. However, I'm very sure he doesn't want to leave. Even if it is 1 million, he still wants to collect it. Now, other thing that is giving William Ruto fear, it's the factor of age. William Ruto, as we speak today, is about almost 60 years. And Raila Amolo Odinga is now 80 years plus. So Raila Amolo Odinga, as we move to 2027, is becoming weaker and weaker. For those who are very keen, can see Raila Amolo Odinga walk around. You can tell that he is aging and that he probably does not need to move around a lot and he needs to relax. When it comes to campaigns of 2027, how is he going to campaign for William Ruto? I want to imagine William Ruto alone in Luo Nyanza campaigning. It's completely impossible. Like, he cannot do anything significant. If he does, well and good. But the fact remains that the presence of Raila Amolo Odinga in the campaigns is significant. So if Raila Amolo Odinga's age cannot allow him to be in the campaigns, talk the whole day, the way William Ruto does vigorous campaigns, then the fact remains that William Ruto is developing fear that he might not even pull crowds, he might not even convince people to come and vote for him. Now, other thing that I was able to note is the reception of Raila Amolo Odinga. Raila Amolo Odinga was not received as the Raila Amolo Odinga that we used to see before. In that he's talking to the people and they're just quiet, listening to him to give a speech. The other areas you just see Igwe, I mean, a lot of support to Raila Amolo Odinga. But this time around, it's actually significantly low. Why? Raila could talk, people are just watching. Even if it's the crowd, it's not so big. I don't know whether they did not do proper mobilization, but the fact is the spirit in Luo Nyanza is quite low. And going to support support William Ruto with such a kind of a spirit, it's going to be difficult for him. Hence, he has to develop fear on the ability for him to get votes from that region. Because he will ask himself, if Raila Amolo Odinga, this is how he's received, how about when I'm alone coming to Luo Nyanza to get the votes? And more especially when we have other campaigners across, when we have people like Babu Wino on board, it's going to be a difficult task. So, ladies and gentlemen, it isn't going to be easy. Also, the other thing that we are saying here is the issue to do with the youthful leadership in Luo Nyanza. The youthful leadership in Luo Nyanza, none of them are supporting William Ruto as we speak today. And considering most of the Luo Nyanza people are youthful men and women, the fact is that William Ruto might not have enough support from Luo Nyanza, and the older generations might likely listen to the younger generations based on the 25th June 2024, where the youths were immensely engaged on ensuring that William Ruto has portrayed proper governance. Also, if you check, people like Babu Wino are so influential both at the old and the young. So if Babu Wino gives a statement that is against William Ruto's support, that means very well that William Ruto must develop fear, because at that time Babu Wino is going to command a lot. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you have to also put it here categorically that this fear that William Ruto is developing, it is sincere and actually it's factual, because he has seen the trend so far. The ground is not completely with Raila Amolo Odinga and him. Now, I think strongly that William Ruto's numbers probably might go down come 2027, because the current state of affairs, for instance, in the Western region and in Nyanza, is a clear indication that the rest of the country is much more worse than what William Ruto is experiencing. Why? If Raila Amolo Odinga entirely controls Western and Luo Nyanza, how about now other regions where it does not give entirely control, like Kisii and the Coast region? That means very well that William Ruto must be prepared for a more hostile ground in other parts of this country. I don't know what's your take as we speak here on this channel. Kindly let me see in the comment section what you think. My name is Abel Mukwa. See you next time for more videos. Thank you so much for watching.